All right, with that said, let's move into the game this weekend, Week 17, Pittsburgh Steelers, Seattle Seahawks. It is a crucial game. It's been a crucial game for the Pittsburgh Steelers. If you missed it in last week's episode, the Hater Parlay, I believe, is clipped to our YouTube page, so go check that out. The Pittsburgh Steelers, they didn't get help last night with the Cleveland Browns beating the New York Jets, who somehow Joe Flacco might take this team to the top spot in the AFC, which is just wild to me. But shout out Joe Flacco. The Steelers are still alive, but they 100% need to win this game against the Seattle Seahawks. Geno Smith, there's no DK Metcalf on the injury report, or DK Metcalf was on the injury report, didn't practice yesterday because of a back issue. Kenneth Walker, I think, was the same thing with a different issue. They're beat up, but I don't know what to expect when these guys come back on the field by Sunday. What is your key to victory, Week 17, Pittsburgh Steelers versus Seattle Seahawks?
Well, my key to victory is something that, Joey Porter talked about yesterday and something I wrote about. It's that matchup between, I'm kind of assuming that DK Metcalf's going to be on the field on Sunday, and I think that matchup between him and Joey Porter is not only going to be a lot of fun to watch, I think it's really going to decide the game. I think Joey Porter is certainly capable of taking DK Metcalf out of this game. It's the right kind of matchup of styles. I think this plays into Joey's hands, a physical matchup, a guy that he'll really be able to get after and put hands on and be really physical with, just kind of plainly. And so I think that kind of plays into Joey's hands. And if Joey Porter is able to take, DK Metcalf out of the game, I think that opens up so many different things for the Steelers to do. And I feel like it gives them such a huge advantage, makes the Seahawks a lot more one-dimensional. But the other side of that coin is if DK is taking the top out of this defense, if he's cooking Joey Porter Jr., if Joey's just not ready for that challenge, it's going to be a long day for the Steelers. And I just don't know if they'll have the firepower to keep up with it. So I think that's the key for the Steelers to win, is that they need Joey Porter to be kind of that bona fide shutdown corner. He needs to live up to kind of the hype and keep playing the way he has against one of the premier wideouts in the NFL. He's got to be able to win his one-on-one with DK Metcalf, and if he can't, it's going to be a really long afternoon in Seattle for the Steelers.
Have you seen the memes of it's like Azbula and whoever the other guy that he like always tries to fight on there, and it's like Kenneth Walker with a 4-yard gain 10 yards down the field, and it's just them scrapping, and it's Joey Porter and DK Metcalf. That's gonna be the whole game. It's gonna be so physical. You got two guys that love to talk. I mean, Joey loves to talk smack, dude. Loves to talk smack. And DK talks smack, but then he'll also punch you right in the face. So I don't know who that benefits. I don't know. Joey Porter's Jr.'s got some Joey Porter in him, so we'll see what happens there. But I agree. I think it's such a fun matchup to watch if you are a football lover, especially a physical football lover. This is a matchup that you want to pay attention to. I think it could be a good one, and I agree. It comes down to, can Joey shut down another star? And at this point, like week after week, you're kind of expecting him to, which is huge. My key to victory is the other side of the football. And it has everything to do with the offense. I think it still comes down to the defense keeping the score low. But, man, dude, Mason's got to be Mason from last week. And he can't put any more pressure on himself. He's got to have the same mentality. My worry with the Pittsburgh Steelers and their quarterback this week is last week there was nothing to prove. There was nothing to lose. It was Mason Rudolph gets to go out there and say, screw it, man. I don't care. I'm throwing the football around. After all the hype that has come with this week, all the attention, all the national media, all the everything, those expectations have definitely grown. And the idea that maybe this is a resurgence of Mason Rudolph's career has definitely sparked. You cannot go out there and try to win a job next season. You cannot go out there and try to make your career great again. You can't do any of that. You just have to go out there and do exactly what you did last week, not care at all, throw the ball around. Who cares what decisions you're making? Just try and go win a football game. You start getting into the same routine that Kenny Pickett was in, where it was, I can't lose this job, and Mitch Trubisky was in, where, well, I have to probably win this job and revive my career. Things are going to go downhill very, very quickly. Mason's got to go out there and just be the same guy he was last week. I'm nervous that the spotlight is bigger and what comes with that. If he could be the same guy as he was last week, I think this is going to go very well for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, just got to, like you say, got to play with nothing to lose. I mean, because there really isn't.
Yes.
I mean, at this point, like, I mean, Mason, I feel like has talked about it all week. He talked about it after that last game, just that, he didn't know if this was going to be kind of his last chance in the NFL, and maybe that's still true. I feel like he's got to internalize that and just play loose, play free, play with nothing to lose, because there really, I don't feel like there still is. I mean, he's still kind of Mason Rudolph, and I think even after
Yep.
one good game, there's still not a ton of people who think that he's any different than the guy that we were saying just didn't deserve a shot at all coming into this year. So uh, if he kind of is able to keep that in his head, if he's able to, like I said, internalize that and just keep rocking with the idea that no one believes in him still, like, so just let it rip, and don't worry about looking stupid out there, because who cares? The opinion of you is already so low that you can only impress people. So don't try to, I don't know. Don't try to. He's got to stay true to who Mason Rudolph is, and that, like Mike Tomlin said, that's
Yep.
someone who's aggressive. That's someone who likes to push the ball down the field. That's someone who likes to take some thoughtful risks, and that's the best version of Mason. So that's what he's got to be.
I agree. And if it works out, I think it works out very well for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That being said, we only got 2 more of these left. We were both very wrong last week.
Extremely
I
wrong.
believe.
We could not have been more wrong.
I think I actually picked the Steelers to win.
Oh, you did actually, but you said it was going to be real close. I at least had
I did say it was
going
to be close.
That's
Yeah, it's true. You were much closer score-wise than I was. But yeah, that's true. This one's a little tougher. Everybody's talking about Seattle, home crowd being rowdy. You kind of forget that Seattle is the 12th man until they play Seattle, and then you're like, oh yeah, it is like the second loudest stadium in the NFL. How nuts is that? So it will not be an easy atmosphere for this team. Seattle is also fighting for a playoff spot. Geno Smith is playing well this season, no matter what anybody wants to say. They got a dominant wide receiver group, good offensive line, and 2 really solid running backs on top of some big names on defense. Week 17, Pittsburgh Steelers trying to keep their playoff hopes alive against the Seattle Seahawks. What's your score prediction?
I'm gonna kind of reverse a trend that I've been on for a while now. I'm gonna pick the Steelers. I think they win. I think it's a close one. I think Chris Boswell kind of comes through with the late field goal that puts them over the top, but I'm gonna go 24-21 Steelers win.
24-21. That's a big day for Seattle's offense, I would say. 21 points, especially with the Steelers scoring, means that, Seattle did some things, put themselves on the board, look real good. I like that one. I do think it's going to be close. Man, dude, it's tough. 24-21 is a good score, but I think it's a little high for Seattle's offense if the Steelers are going to win. I'm going to go 24-17 Steelers. I think it's very close. I don't think it comes down to like a Mason Rudolph 2-minute drill or anything. I think that they have a lead, and maybe Seattle just can't get it done there at the end, something like that. I just see the Steelers kind of being in control and looking good from start to finish. Where that comes from, let's hope it's Mason Rudolph, and we got plenty to talk about next week, but it feels good to be back on the Steelers are going to win train